Hey, hello. Am I live? I am. Hi. Welcome here in Soulful Women Entrepreneurs. You are creating abundance with your brilliance. Um, I'm here for our live training this week, the Soulful Business and Money Training. And I am moving forward perfectly imperfect. I've got kind of a lot going on here today, and you can probably hear noise coming in from outside. Kids are outside in the pool. It's a beautiful day. Um, And I am here for you for this next bit of time, sharing some business wisdom, some training, some tips. And the topic today is about bliss and some business insight that I learned from the ants, from the perspective of ants that I connected with and communicated with. And these trainings are just for you here in this group so that you can create an amazing, soulful, profitable six-figure business that you are absolutely in love with. And so I want to talk with you about bliss and what I learned from the ants. Um, Bliss isn't something that you work for. It's something that we are supposed to follow. We are supposed to follow our bliss. We are supposed to follow what feels right, what is right, what makes us joyful, what makes us happy. And, often we hold kind of the promises that working for ourselves bring, right? Like freedom or financial abundance or really amazing, feel good, wonderful clients and doing things that you really love doing in your business. Sometimes we hold those out there to happen someday, right? And no matter where you are in your business, my guess is that there's something that you're holding out there for someday. And I want you to start thinking about someday is now. I really want you to start connecting with feeling in with what it is that you are expecting or waiting for in someday and really reel it into now and start feeling like that is already happening for you. And if it isn't already happening for you, which it might not be, then the more you start feeling like it's happening for you, the very next opportunities and experiences will show up for you so that it comes closer for you, right? Okay, so that's simple. That's universal law. It's the law of vibration, it's the law of attraction. All right, but that someday is not a day of the week. There are only 7 days of the week, and none of them are labeled someday. Okay, so we are really lucky. We get the choice to follow our bliss, having your own business that you're passionate about. So many people do not have that freedom. I have family members, I have friends who, while they identify with what they do and they may love aspects of what they do, they don't get to love the whole thing, right? They work for somebody else. They work for the government, or they work for a school department, or they work for a company, and they don't get to love all of it. They have a lot of hoops to jump through that we, as women in business for ourselves, we get to choose what hoops we jump through. We get to choose those things. So, doing work that we love, it makes a huge difference in people's lives, making other people more joyful, more healthy, more wealthy, helping them with their relationships. Everything about it is just amazing. So, this is what we get to do when we have a heart centered business that we're in love with. And it's also a requirement for your business to not just be joyful and blissful, but it has to be profitable. Otherwise, it isn't a business. It's a passion project, or it's a hobby if you're not profitable, or it's a side job. But if it's your business, then you owe it to yourself, you owe it to your business, and you owe it to your clients to be profitable, right? And even though we love the work that we do, sometimes pieces of it can feel like work, right? Manifesting and creating abundance isn't just about dreaming it up and holding it out there in the future. You have to have that vision and that dream and that vision, but there's some action involved. And we can make it feel sometimes like it's more work, and we let our brain tell us that it's hard, right? And here is where the ants come in, right? I learn a lot from all different species. Those of you who know me, I bring everything back to the wonderful model that animals, nature, and the systems of the universe provide for us. And the answers, or at least the understanding of the problems about, or of every struggle, those answers lie in nature, animals. and the universe and what they model for us. So I had a conversation with a tiny ant one day, and I want to share about that here because I think it will help you in your business. It certainly helped mine, and it actually framed my business. This little ant, I've told this story before to clients of mine. This little ant really framed up my business. And I was sitting in the middle of a horse pasture, and I sat down. The horses were out grazing, and there was this flower of clover next to me, purple clover flower. And there was this little ant crawling on the flower. And I said to this sweet little guy, I said, what do I need to know in order to make my business really powerful, really successful, to be able to help more and more people and support myself and my family with more than enough, money and abundance and time and freedom and opportunities than my family and I could ever need or want. And he said to me, he said, work smartly, work joyfully, not tirelessly. He said, there are all these little snippets of wisdom that he had. He said, don't do things that you are not meant to do. Don't do things that feel out of alignment. If you cannot bring them into alignment with something that resonates with you and your purpose here, then it's not meant for you. Okay? He said, trust your strongest skills and use those skills over and over and over again. Trust your strongest skills. This is where, I like to think about this, talk about this in terms of your zone of excellence and your zone of genius, right? Those are two zones from the Big Leap book by Gay Hendricks. Those are two zones that we work in. And this little ant was saying, don't work outside of that zone. It's going to feel like work. It's going to feel hard. It's going to feel heavy. He said, trust your strongest skills and use those over and over again, right? So for me in my business, that is teaching and coaching. It's not doing social media. It's not building my website. It's not all the other things, doing my bookkeeping, right? Like, it's about teaching and coaching. It's about presenting opportunities for others to learn and guide them to be their best selves. Like, that is what I love doing, right? He said, don't do things that you're not meant to do. Trust your strongest skills. And he said, leave the heavy lifting to those who are built for heavy lifting. So if it feels like heavy lifting for me, he was saying, just don't do that. Leave that to the other ones who can do that heavy lifting. They're built for it. It's not going to strain them, stress them, hurt them. They love it. Let them work too, right? He said, surround yourself with others who are like you. They think like you do. They feel about things the way you do. This way, you'll enjoy the daily connections. You'll enjoy working together easily. And this pertains both to the clients, the people that I help, but also the people on my team, the people who I connect with, and the people who help me. There has to be alignment. There has to be an energy of connection and consistency, right? And he said, surround yourself with others who are like you. Doesn't mean exactly like me, but who feel the same, respect the same things, want to work in the same ways, respect alignment and ease and flow, right? And in my case, animals and nature, right? He said, create a system that you can follow anytime and that allows you to make patterns and build successful outcomes, right? This is what ants do. They have a system. They have an entire system, right, in their communities that they build, in their colonies that they build, right? And it's a system that they follow over and over again. And if you know ants and their resilience, they can things happen, rainstorms happen, animals come and destroy their colonies, and they know how to do it again and again and again, right? But that allows you to follow it every time. He said, follow it every time. And he said this to me. He said, so you're not wandering out around in the grass all by yourself, starting over again. Like, know the system, create the system, stay in your system, right? This pertains directly to what I coach my clients to do and build in their own business, is to create a signature system. Create something that you can lean on in your business that makes what you do and what you offer people, how you help people, really easy to repeat again and again, right? It doesn't mean cookie cutter. It just means that you don't have to go out and come up with a whole new game plan, a whole new blueprint, or a whole new map every time. So these ants, we're talking about signature system, like just so cool, right? And then he said, have a simple plan to start with that creates the beginning of an amazing nest, community, or colony that can support many, right? He's talking about growth. He's talking about start simply and then make your plan to grow, make your plan to start to impact more and more people, more and more clients, more and more people that you can help, more and more people that may come in and help you help other people, right? There's this cycle, this life cycle, you know, naturally, um, just as in nature, where systems benefit and thrive based on other systems, right? Like it's just so beautiful. I love this stuff. And if you get this, if this makes sense to you, and you can see how applying these things to your business makes sense, drop a comment. And I would love to talk with you about this. Just type in "makes sense." Ants make sense, right? Um, he said then, he said, don't stray from your source. Keep what you know to be always as your north, your true north, just like we do with water. He said, we always know where the water is. And this is true about ants. He said, allow yourself lots of rest. It'll give you all you need to show up and be full of energy for anything that comes your way, right? And, you know, animals, nature, the ants too, they follow that natural circadian rhythm, right? The daytime and the nighttime. They take shifts, right? Some ants work in the day, some ants work in the night. Like they take shifts, and they do that very systematically, very repeatedly, very predictably. And that's why one of the main reasons we want to work for ourselves is to have that freedom and to be able to take really good care of ourselves, right? So notice that in your business. How are you balancing things so that you can also bring in your self-care? You can also bring in these things that you need to take care of you so that you can be the best you for others that you help, that you serve, that you work with, right? He said, we ants never lose our way. We may get scattered when our establishments get moved by other forces, but we always take care of the ones in our care and know how to reconvene and get back to home and make things harmonious again. We pivot and persist. And I just love that because you have to be really persistent when you work for yourself. You have to be able to pivot. No one else is writing you a paycheck, right? No one else, my friends, is saying, hey, get up, it's time for work. You're in trouble if you're not here today. Like that relies on us. And ants, so many nature beings, animals, and nature spirits have so much to teach us about resilience and pivoting and thriving and persistence and how persistence affects all of that, right? And then this little ant said, he said, this is bliss. He said, being an ant is bliss. Living on purpose is bliss. Knowing our path is bliss, and loving our work is bliss. Follow yours. And those were his wonderful words of wisdom to me. I wrote them down in my journal. I have my journal with me that day. And so I want to ask you, how can you make your joyful business even more joyful? Right? What do you need? What wisdom can you pull from these little ants or from other animals in nature? Right? The things that this sweet little ant were talking about with me, they directly relate to the foundations of what I coach on and what I teach women entrepreneurs to do and grow and how to create their business and really thrive. You know, he mentioned surrounding yourself with those like you in the same energy as you, the essence, and who want to be with you. That directly relates to having your soulmate client. It directly relates to using your unique voice, right? Brand soul, discovering your brand soul and really incorporating that so that you can set yourself apart and let your true nature shine through so that people can find you, so that you aren't just, one of a million doing what you do, but you have a special flair, a special gift, a special essence, a special thing that makes you stand out, right? That's all knowing your brand soul. That's all being able to identify your personality and have unwavering confidence stepping into your voice, right? And from that, then you start to attract the people who are just right for you, those soulmate clients, right? Those heart-to-heart clients who really want get what they need from you and through you. All right? That's what this ant is talking about. That's what I teach in my program, right? He talked about, are you allowing, um, um, really honoring your own value, right? Don't do the things that you don't like doing. Don't do the things that don't align with your greatest gift and your zone of excellence or your zone of genius, right? And really valuing your time, really knowing what your energy is worth, right? And that all comes down to pricing. So often, I know so many of you are undervaluing your own, the amazing things that you do for people, right? And maybe you're over delivering, or you're not charging what you know you could be charging, or you're not charging in a way, you're not putting your offers together in a way that you create these beautiful packages that your clients can feel safe in, they can feel supported in, they know that they're going to get amazing outcomes because they're not just in a one-off session with you. That's what I teach people how to do in my programs. That's what I teach people how to do in my Soulful Abundance Academy, right? It's open. You are welcome to join in. I want to invite you in so that you can create a wonderful, blissful, joyful, profitable business. And it all feels good because it all aligns with nature. It all aligns with the wisdom of the animals. And that means that it aligns with your heart. If you're here in my group and this makes sense to you, then it has to feel good. It has to have that heart-to-heart connection, right? And that also means having a heart-to-heart connection with your own value, your own destiny, on this planet. You have one life to live. Go live it, right? And creating abundance, right? Knowing that you can have enough or more than enough of time, of money, of happiness, of great clients, of really amazing opportunities to help people, of experiencing amazing outcomes with your clients. That's all part of your reason for being and your reason for being in business for yourself. So I can help you with these things. This is what my program is based on. Soulful Abundance Academy this is what it's comprised of, and these very principles that this wise little guy taught me about. And oh, yeah, and Rosie thinks so too. So I'm here, committed to helping you create your own blissful, joyful, profitable business that's aligned with your own heart and aligned with your beliefs, animals, nature, and your best self. So let me know if I can help. That's what I have for you today, my friends, in the Soulful Money and Business training. And cheers to you. Let me know your thoughts on this. And you have a beautiful day. Thanks.